Hey, GM, everybody. Welcome back to another Metaverse Spotlight episode. Today, I am joined by FRENEMY, and we're going to be talking about what's going on inside of Imaginarium. Welcome in, everybody, to the chat. Say what up in the chat if you are tuning in. Um, my microphone looks like it might be louder than usual. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. You guys tell me if your ears are getting blown out. But where did I get distracted? Oh, make sure you let us know if you're tuning in live. Say what up, GMERA. What's up, dude? Welcome in to the show. If you're tuning in live, say what up. If you're catching the replay, drop a comment below. We love seeing comments after the fact as well. But anyways, what's up, Frenemy? How are you doing today or tonight?
What's up? Doing good, yeah. Very good. It's 10 o'clock at night here. Over here in Malaysia. Yeah, doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good, dude. For people that have no idea who Frenemy is and what Imaginarium is before we dive into all that, maybe just give people just a real quick rundown of who you are, and then we'll dive on into everything else. And for those of you that are even more curious about Frenemy, you can go back and watch previous episodes that I've had, either Behind the Avatar or Metaverse Spotlight with him. But give us a quick little rundown of who you are, and then we'll dive on into everything.
Sure. So I'm a graffiti artist, like mural artist, illustrator, tattoo artist, basically just an artist, but I started off as a graffiti artist, and Frenemy is my graffiti name. So that's where I came from. And I do a lot of cartoon illustration, bright colored murals, and yeah, a bunch of psychedelic looking crazy stuff.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No, I love your art. And it's definitely a style that I've been drawn to over the years. And I don't know, I honestly don't know how you came across my path, probably just through Tempest. But either way, as soon as like I saw your art, I was like, dude, I fuck with this guy. He's he's my kind of artist. So it's been really cool to see. For those of you that don't know, Frenemy has been working with Tempest Studios and the Sandbox to bring his art into the metaverse and turn it into a game. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, which is Imaginarium, which is the game world that is being developed inside of the Sandbox. And I love I just played it last night. I was like, I gotta play it again before I talk to Frenemy. And that was my first time playing chapter 2, obviously, or maybe not obviously, but obviously for me it was. And it was super fun. I love the way that your art has been brought into the metaverse, and it really does feel like you're in a world that was doodled by you, basically. And I really love all of the stuff that's going on inside of Imaginarium. And I think the team over at Tempest Studios is obviously crushing it and doing a great job of taking your art that you do. Most of this art for this project, at least, is mainly just on paper. Is that how you draw, or on an iPad or something,
Yeah,
or
so yeah, basically, yeah, they've done an amazing job. First of all, Tempest Studios, their whole team and everybody who's worked on the project, absolutely killed taking all my concept art and stuff and turning it into voxels. I've been pretty blown away the whole time. But yeah, basically, they approached me about making a game with them because I guess the Sandbox had told them that they were looking for artists that already have like universes and worlds. And Lozen had been following me for a very long time on Instagram, and yeah, they asked me if I'd be interested in doing something with them, and I had already had a cartoon written, and I had all this paintings and concept art made for it, sheets of characters and all of their names and everything. already ready, and I just changed it for a game. And I was like, well, I have this, and then we pitched it to the Sandbox, and then the Sandbox were like, oh yeah, let's. This is a green light, and we they backed it with their Game Makers Fund, and yeah, we've been working on it now for like well over a year, and yeah, it's pretty exciting to finally have it be coming out now. And yeah, they took a lot of my paintings, and some of them are hand painted paintings. Some of it's concept art on the iPad. It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
But
Yeah, cool. No, that's awesome. So, um, you hit on a few things that I wanted to cover. For people that aren't familiar, I know there's a lot of people that are tuning in that have probably at least played chapter 1, but, let's let people know, like, there's I should drop while you're doing this, I'm gonna jump in so that we can get it up on screen.
yeah, cool.
But, you wanna give people a little, like, intro into so you said that there was like, this is based off of a cartoon that you had created, like
Like a concept, yeah. I
like, was it gonna
basically
be
just
a
wanted.
comic or
No, I was like I wanted to pitch it to like a studio to try to get a cartoon made eventually,
oh,
and
okay,
then
like a
yeah, like an
watching like,
actual
video
cartoon, like that
cartoon.
you would watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I wrote like the whole story down. I wrote like I had some episodes like started to be written down, but I had the whole concept of like what the world is, what the story is for the world, what the characters are for the world, who the bad guys are, who the good guys are, and all that kind of stuff, all written down. And basically, I just changed it for to fit the game. Uh, and the story is basically that there's this world called the Imaginarium, which is where all imagination comes from, like where all imagination and ideas are born. And then there's these portals in the world that they get sent out into the universe from, or whatever. And things come and go through these portals into the Imaginarium. And then there's some nefarious beings that want to destroy everything imaginary. So in the game, you get pulled, sucked in through a portal and from like a regular world into the Imaginarium, and it's kind of the whole like you're the foretold one to help save the Imaginarium type story. And then as you go through the game, the story will play out. And I don't want to reveal like everything, obviously, because part of the game is as you go, it kind of reveals itself, the story or whatever. But yeah, so that's it. And then we're releasing it in chapters, like almost like a storybook. And because currently the Sandbox doesn't have a load, like a save feature, what we've done is that I have this character, the Doodle Dog, and in the game you team up with the Doodle Dog as like your companion, and I'll show later, I'm sure, how that works. But you can load. You'll be able to load in through the beginning area, this like dumpster, and it'll take you to a little room with doodle dogs. You pick the doodle dog you had been using before, then you pick the area you want to go to, and then you'll get launched into the area and be able to play with everything that you would have left off with, or whatever, all your armors or whatever you had earned. So that's a cool feature that is not in any other sandbox game, I don't think. But that's why we have the whole chapter concept, basically.
Yeah. No, I love the chapter concept, and I feel like that is definitely the only game, at least the only game that I've played inside of the Sandbox that is utilizing the chapter system like that. Um, I guess one other game did pop into my head, but it's kind of a different way of doing it. It was Touche Studios did their Flores Cake, and they had like
Mm.
different levels that you could load into with different codes. As you beat it, you unlock codes, kind of thing. But either way, but I really love the chapters that you guys have set up, and I'm going to do one thing real quick. I like the audio, but we're gonna turn it off for the pod just so that it's not distracting. Um,
Sure. We're waiting for the Sandbox update to where we can add music. So right now we can't add music yet. So
I was
right now
gonna
we just have
say,
some ambient sound. But
yeah,
music will be coming.
it'll
Yeah.
be that'll be more fun whenever
So
whenever there can be custom audio and stuff in the games.
so the beginning of the game, you're kind of like in this city area, and then if you were to start regularly, you would go to the telephone that's ringing, and then you'll get launched into the beginning of the game, or not, where you are now. A dumpster is like the load system, so that you'd be loaded into this little room with the different doodle dogs, and you'll pick which doodle dog you wanted that you had been using before or you want to use, and then you can load to the next area. And actually, now the way that you're doing this now too, it'll load you into the next room with a different load like kind of like diorama boxes for the different areas after you pick your doodle dog, and it kind of gives a preview for the other areas of the game that we haven't launched yet, but you can kind of get a sneak peek.
Yeah, I love those. We'll go to those next. I'm gonna go with Chubbs because Chubbs is the goat
Yeah,
in my opinion. But so there's I should have.
Chubbs is my favorite.
Yeah, Chubbs is your favorite too. Nice. I should
Yeah.
have waited a second on that other screen, but it doesn't matter. So there's five. Did I count that right? Five different doodles that people
Yes,
can play as or
five.
play with.
Five doodle dogs. Yeah, for now, there's five doodle dogs that you can play with, and each one unlocks something different. Like the game will be a bit like different with each one, the things you'll earn and stuff like that. So,
Okay, so like,
and then there's
are the storylines different or
yeah. So
basically the same?
depending on which doodle dog you pick, the storyline is the same. The storyline's basically the same, but you'll earn different armor sets and stuff like that. So
Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha. That's
and each little doodle dog kind of has its own personality and stuff like that. But yeah.
uh, I like I really like these diet do what you call them dioramas. Is that what they would be in real life? If
Yeah,
you
like
were
a little
if you were
diorama of
yeah,
the area.
if
Yeah,
you're
yeah. If you're like, you're in school and you make a little diorama
yeah, yeah.
for a project or whatever. These are voxelized dioramas of each of the areas of the game. The first one is Doodle Town slash Doodle Fields, the first kind of two areas, and then the other one is the second chapter we just launched, Imaginary Friendsville, and then we have Magic Forest, and um, then the Forbidden Cave of Bad Ideas, and then the last chapter is Castle Create.
Castle Create. So there's five chapters right now that are
Yes.
planned to be released. Is there a release schedule or is it just kind of making sure things are
So
things
yes,
are ready
now
or
we're trying to. So things are basically ready, almost all of them. We're trying to actually. I mean, hopefully, in about a week, I'll be launching the next chapter, Magic Forest, and then after that, well, the plan is, if all goes well, it will be week every week until the whole game is out. Then the whole game will be out. So
okay, nice,
yeah,
nice. Okay. So that's honestly faster than I was expecting. So, the plan is to be about weekly for chapter
yes,
releases going forward from here. The
hopefully
chap
we'll see. Hopefully, as long as there's no hiccups or anything. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we'll see.
We I hopefully
So
everyone
don't quote
here
me on that. That's what we're
yeah,
going
yeah,
for.
yeah, and I think
Yeah.
everyone, if you're familiar and have been playing inside of the sandbox for a while, you should be used to this. But with updates that come and different things like that, sometimes that does break games. So potentially, things that are ready right now could maybe need to get some work done on them in the future, depending on what kind of updates roll out. So always a little asterisk next to any kind of release date. I feel like in the sandbox, which I think is totally fine. If you're here and you're excited about playing these games that are new and different, you should also expect some hiccups and bumps along the way. But overall, I think it's awesome that we're being able to kind of play and build along together with all of the different projects that are popping up inside of the metaverse, which is the sandbox specifically that we're talking about right now. I see on the map, and I can't tell if it's even bigger than that, but is this it's on
It's
a
four. It's all
four?
four. I don't know why on the map it's only showing half of the thing. It should be the whole thing. Those two boxes above it are, so it's all four of those pots in there. The two
Oh,
that are
so
have
it's
the
so it's a
there, and then
four.
above it. Yeah,
Oh, okay, so it's a 2 by 2. That's what I was wondering
yeah,
if it
two
was
by
a
two.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, cool. Um, and
So it's pretty big.
yeah, yeah, 2 by 2s are pretty damn big. Um,
Yeah.
especially when you start, layering things, and you can do a whole lot on a 2 by 2. Um, Oh, I forgot I was gonna do this real quick. Shout out to a few of y'all that have chimed in the chat. Usually when I'm doing interviews, I'm horrible about keeping up with the chat, but I just want to say hi to everyone that's here and hanging out. GM Nasman, Waypax, ERA was here earlier. Funbot, which I think is PGFs, um, according to that comment. Fodact,
Yeah.
everyone, thanks for tuning in. I know that this is kind of retrospectively not the best time because Pickaxe Master also has a stream going on with their Mineral Monarchs that are getting into the TSB arena here. So I know a lot of you are probably over there watching as well. But I'm excited about what's going on inside of Imaginarium. And for those of you that, so we just covered, there's 2 chapters out right now. And just so you know, this is playable right now inside of the sandbox. All you got to do is go to sandbox.game. I can actually show it on screen. All you got to do is go to sandbox.game. Let's just redo it. Sandbox.game. Once you get loaded in there, go to the map, which is the upper left corner. And then on the upper right corner, go to the search bar, just type in Imaginarium. Spell it right. Imaginarium.
There it is.
And there it is. You can click on it. You can get more details if you want by clicking on the details button, or you can just hit play right here and that'll load you in. If you don't have the Sandbox launcher downloaded yet, it'll prompt you to download that. You'll get that downloaded, installed, and then you'll get inside and play. And then once you get inside, you can either go to that telephone, which was at the beginning, and that'll start your new game, or you can go and load into this screen if you're going to load into a different chapter. But right now there are 2 chapters available, chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 is Doodletown. This is kind of your introduction to the world of Imaginarium and what you're going to be doing inside of this game and along your journey through these chapters. So definitely, obviously, recommend starting there and playing through. Once you get inside, you'll partner up with the Doodle Dog, and the Doodle Dog will be your companion along your journey, and you'll unlock different armors, weapons, and such. And they'll be different based off of which doodle you join up with. And then chapter 2 is the newly released part chapter
Yes.
chapter of the
Part
game.
of the story.
Part of the story that you can play through now. And I just did last night, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed and I played through from chapter 1 all the way through to chapter 2 just because I wanted to get the whole full experience. And it was fun to just like go. And then I liked how you pick up right where you left off once you load into chapter 2. So I think the chapter concept is done really well, especially like you said, since that there isn't any saving inside of the sandbox as of yet. The chapter concept is really cool. So shout
Yeah,
out
I think it
to
was important for a longer game like this that we had this kind of thing, because then, if you play through and then halfway through it's late at night or something, then no one's gonna want to like have to start all the way over from the beginning. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
definitely.
they're
No,
they were
I think
good for making this.
it's a really good idea. Um, I'm trying to think. I did note down a couple things that I wanted to ask you. Oh, so this entire game is based off of the cartoon concept that you had.
Yes.
How much work would you say, like, you already had the idea of like the story. Have you been spending a lot of time like back and forth, like communicating like about how you want things done, the storyline, how to like gamify the story, or did Tempest help you with that a lot, or was that mainly you, or like how did the gamification come about and become a game? Like I don't even know what I'm trying to ask, but like, was it easy, or was it hard, or I'm just
It
curious about
was,
kind of the
I
journey
would say
through
it
all of
was
this.
super. Yeah, yeah. I would say it was super easy. I So in the cartoon concept, Mochi is that little blue character right there. That's a character that's in my paintings and illustrations and has been forever. And his best friend is the Doodle Dog. So in the cartoon, him and the Doodle Dog work together, and the Doodle Dog makes scribbles, and then Mochi can turn them into things with Mochi's imagination. So that's how they work together in the world, and then that's how they fight against the beings that want to destroy everything imaginary. So instead, you, the player, Mochi is kind of your guide through the world, and you, the player, gets a doodle dog, and we just change it to where there's more than one doodle dog. So now you can like have we can have multiple armor sets and different things attached to it, and then you, the player, every time that the doodle dog makes a doodle, you, the player, turn that into things or whatever. And that was my idea for the store for the game, and then they kind of helped polish that a little bit more. How can that work inside the sandbox basically? And but the whole story is what like pretty much with I mean of course they collaborated some, but it's mainly the story that I had already had outlined, and all the bad guys, everything is all the stuff that I had already created, and they just kind of helped with like tweaking things basically. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so
That's awesome. No, I love that you were able to take a concept that you had obviously worked on for, I would imagine, a while to
years,
come
years.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, to
yeah,
come all up with all of this. And who knows, maybe someday it will actually turn into a cartoon or something. But it's cool that you're able to take like this idea off of the shelf, the hypothetical shelf, and then turn it into something like this. Like it's cool to see the way that um metaverse UGC platforms stuff can be applied to so many different things, because the
yeah,
as long as you have creativity and imagination, right, you can kind of come up with how to do almost anything inside of this kind of
yeah,
sandbox
100%.
world.
And like I would say like a lot of artists and people they'll have ideas, but they never write them down. They never do actually do any of the work to like the all the grunt work it takes to do that. And that's why I think it's really important if you are a creative person and you have an idea, write it down. Start, even if it's not going to go anywhere tomorrow, you don't know when opportunity might arise. And if you do, like, if they had approached me and I didn't have any of this stuff, it would have been a lot harder to like, but I had everything and we could pitch it right away and like, and then they could get working on the game immediately because I already had sheets of characters, the story written, like everything's already there pretty much. Of course, there's some stuff that I drew more of or more, more stuff or, like some of the environments and stuff and things like that. And the armor sets, I had to design the armor sets and things like that. But most of the stuff was already there for them to already get to work, and I think that goes. Uh, it's pretty. I think it's yeah. If you're a creative person and you have an idea, write it down. Start doing that work because you never know when opportunity is going to arise, and if you're prepared to jump on it, uh, you'll be able to take those opportunities. And if not, they might pass you by. So
Yeah, yeah, no, that's such a good uh, piece of advice, is to yeah, like when you do have good ideas, I mean, they feel like a good idea to you. Like start formulating it, and you never know what it'll turn into, and maybe it will just end up in your notebook or on the shelf or whatever. But um, at least you got it out, and and it's
yeah,
somewhere instead of lost
yeah,
in your brain.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that
So
and it's cool to see a real life example of how something like that could actually turn into something more materialist
yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
um,
Yeah, and
even
it
though,
goes to show the power of like also just like I've spent literally dec like since even before Instagram, like a Flickr and like if you know what that is in Tumblr, I was
yeah,
like sharing my work on that back then and like I was making I've been making this world forever and like just posting my work and whatever. And I'm not somebody who really care like if it gets likes or it doesn't get likes, but it's just put it out there, put it out there, put it out there, and you never know who's gonna see it. Like, and over the years, it's worked. I've gotten a lot of opportunities to paint murals, work with like companies and stuff like Converse and all kinds of stuff, like through just years of grinding and making work and sharing it and putting it out there. And I think, yeah, you never know when the opportunity might arise. So just keep putting your work out there.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that I was thinking about this the other day that there's a lot of people that I look up to throughout my life, and a lot of times you forget that those people put in like you're saying like 10, 15, 5, whatever, however many years of work to get to the point where they're at now. And a lot of times you see somebody and you think, oh, that's awesome that they're doing that.
But they don't see
Why?
everything before.
Yeah, like why couldn't I do something like that or whatever? I don't know, whatever the thought is, but you don't always think about the before and like what led to that. And
Yeah,
and
like
if you're not in that situation where you are that person, this right now, you putting in the work, and even if it's just writing it down on a piece of paper or drawing it on an iPad or whatever it is that whatever idea that you're working through, um, that could eventually be building you towards um, a an outcome or a result in your life that's similar to somebody that you were looking at, like thinking about like
yeah,
how did
one
they get to that?
100%. Like I don't have a degree in art. I don't have any background in like I was a graffiti artist and I worked at a grocery store. I used to be a grocery manager at Target and I hated it and I sang in hardcore bands and I would come home every night and paint and draw, not with the thought in the world that it's going to take me somewhere. It was just something I had, like I love to make stuff. So I would come home and paint and draw all night long. Then I started sharing it on Tumblr and sharing it on Flickr, and then I started painting my character. Instead of I used to paint like graffiti lettering, and instead I started painting my characters. And then little by little, people started asking me to show it at coffee shops and show at things, and then design stuff for bands. And I'm like, "Whoa, people will pay me for this? What?" And then, and then I just ran with it. And but the my main focus was never like I want to be famous or I want to get. I just want to make stuff because I love making stuff, and that the fact that people seem to like and enjoy the things that I make, that's freaking awesome. But and that's just a bonus because I make it. I'm gonna make it either way. I'm like an insane person. Like if I had to go tomorrow back to like working at a grocery store, it would suck. I don't want to do that. But if I did, I would still paint and draw every day. And I think sometimes, especially nowadays with social media and people's focus might be the wrong like, oh, I want to, instead of focusing on the work, they're focusing on how can they get famous or how can I get, or whatever. And like, no, you're doing it backwards. Like,
Hmm.
just focus on the work and create good work and share good work. And then hopefully those things will come or opportunities will come if you're creating good work and sharing it. That's what I believe. And yeah, and I'm pretty. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell? Like, so this, I'm like, what? I have a video? Like, what? How
Yeah.
did this happen? But it's from. I mean, I started painting and shit, like my character stuff in like 2008. Before that, I just did graffiti, like lettering and stuff. And I mean, I drew characters and doodled them, but I didn't really take it so serious or try much with it. And then around 2008, I started painting more and like just like delving more into creating this universe. And then yeah, just through a lot of grinding and painting and drawing all the time and sharing it, it's turned into this. Which if you told me back then, I would be like, "You're crazy. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, I I feel like that is oh nice. It loads you in here. I was wondering where I
wait,
was gonna.
did you which one did you load from? Oh, did you load into Doodle Town?
Yeah, the first one. I wanted to hop in and just give people a view of of everything that's going on in here because the
Yeah,
dioramas do a good job of giving you an idea. But I wanted to dive in and give people a view of just like how spectacular it is in here. It really is mind blowing to me. How many like different assets and stuff you come across
Oh,
while you're running around. I was listening to a stream that you did with Tempest like last week, and
yeah.
I don't remember the number, but it was a lot.
It's basically, and there's a few more assets that gotta have to be made for the last part of the last chapter of the game, but all in the end, I think it's gonna be over 1,000 assets that have been made. They're all original assets in the game. There's no sandbox stuff that where they just give, like, it's all original assets, and it's over 1,000. And characters alone, NPCs, there's well over 100. I designed well over 100 characters that are in the game, so it's pretty crazy. Yeah,
That
and
is
their
so
team killed it. It's like they really uh, managed to take the colors and everything from my paintings and drawings and yeah,
yeah,
create
no,
it in the voxel world.
they did such a good job, and it's I I I guess I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. My initial thought on the sandbox was that I didn't like I never I mean I played a little bit of Minecraft, but like I've always like really enjoyed like um good graphics and stuff in my video games. And like whenever I was first like getting into the sandbox, I was like, I just don't know about this voxel stuff. Like it's okay, but it's nothing like special. But then you see you see what amazing artists can do inside of the sandbox with the voxels, and you're like, okay, so there is more to this. Like it's crazy to be like, obviously you can kind of look off in the distance, and like the ground and stuff like has the squareness to it, but so much of this
Yeah,
world when you're wandering around does not feel square or voxely or whatever. Like there's
yeah,
and I think that the Tempest team has always every experience that I've done with them, they do a really good job of blending the two. Like it still feels like you're in the sandbox, like because you can still see the voxels and the squares and everything, but there's also always a lot of flowiness that comes along inside of their experiences. So you're in good hands as far as as far as
yeah.
building
I'm
goes.
so blown away actually by their team, and like, yeah, like actually, to be 100% honest, at first look at this, like when they approached me and I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't know how is my work gonna look in this kind of like boxy format or whatever. I was like a little bit unsure. And then after their team actually before we really but like made a few characters just to kind of show, like, okay, and now also to show the sandbox for our when we were having our meetings with them or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, oh wow, oh, you've taken my characters and they look like that. I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. And then part of me actually really like, because I love old school video. I was born in '81, so I was kind of got that, the birth of video games was how I grew up, and I like the
Yeah.
old school look of video games. And I think this is kind of cool how it's got a mix of like both. It's got that kind of 8-bit look, but it's also elevated and 3D, and I kind of think it's pretty cool. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I guess I never really thought about that specific um detail, but it maybe that is part of why the sandbox has grown on me as well, is because like a lot of us that play inside the sandbox, we grew up on video games. Like we grew up through all the video games, and so maybe this style does kind of resonate with us even subconsciously, just because it has that throwback like nostalgia to it, but also it also feels um like it's up to speed as far as things go. So it's like a combination of both.
100%. Yeah, and even with the story, like my story and the way that I gamified it, it's really follows the kind of old school video game format, like where it was like an area and a boss and like and
Yeah.
then the story unfolds and whatever, and like, and because I that's what I grew up loving. I love those kind of video games like Mario and whatever, any of those kind of games, like uh So that yeah, that I kind of enjoy that whole aspect of it.
No, I think I enjoy the way that your game plays out too, and I now that you say that, it does have like the like the whole old school game concept where you get to a new world or level or whatever, you play through it,
Yeah,
you end with a boss battle, and then and then you move on to the next
yeah. And
world.
you go to the next world, yeah, the next environment, the next world or whatever, and it's the story keeps going. And yeah, I kind of followed that format with this. So which I don't know how younger gamers are. Because I actually not I don't game so much anymore. I did when I was younger, but I kind of I'm somebody who becomes real obsessed with things, and I had
Yeah.
to decide: am I going to be obsessed with my art, or am I going to be obsessed with games? Because I will get sucked in and just play, 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 play. So I was like, okay, maybe I can't balance that. So I have to just stick with the art thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's that's good to know about yourself, and I can be the same way as well. So I do have to kind of pull the reins back whenever I get too sucked into a game because I can get real sucked into things like that. Um, I saw somebody in the chat, maybe it's PGFs. Yeah, um, got the form pulled up. I let me get over there real quick and I will get you guys the secret word. For those of you that don't know, if you're tuning in live to any of my streams and you fill out the proof of attendance form, which you can get by typing !form in the chat, you do get proof of attendance. And if you attend 10 or more streams, you unlock a reward. This month's reward is going to be, let me get this typed. This month's reward is going to be an avatar that you will be able to use inside a Nifty Island. So if you're interested in that, make sure you're tuning in to as many streams as you can and filling out this form. Today's secret word is going to be. Hmm, I don't know if I spelled it right, but we're going with mochi.
Yeah, correct.
Mochi.
Yes, mochi.
Hell yeah,
So
hell yeah.
they're actually a Japanese, there's like a Japanese dessert. These little like
I was gonna
desserts.
say, is that
Yeah.
they're like ice cream, but not really, right?
Yeah, they have ice cream ones as well. They have some that are ice cream and some that aren't, but they're these little soft desserts. They're really good. So
Yeah.
that's what they. And I like just like the way they sound, mochi. So I think I have another character that's from my children's book called Kimbap that actually appears later in the game as well. And Kimbap is named after these Korean. They're kind of like um, sushi. They're not sushi, but they're like they look like a sushi, but they're called Kimbap, and
Okay.
they're
Okay.
snacks
Nice.
from Seoul.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun little glimpses
Yeah,
inside of the creative mind. I love it.
well, Korea
Um,
was the first place I lived overseas, and they showed me a lot of love there. I got a lot of really cool opportunities with my art and stuff. And so when I released my children's book, I named my character Kimbop, kind of as a nod to my time in Korea. So
oh, nice, nice. I love that.
yeah,
Um, I what time is it? I gotta make sure we got enough time. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes left for this portion of the interview. I do want to. You gave me a few different little teaser videos that I think we could end on and talk about what's going on there. And then if you have anything you want to let people know about what's coming in the future or whatever, we can get into that as well. But let's start with the the previews and stuff. Let me get
yeah.
to. Let me go.
So we're gonna be the first assets we're gonna be dropping in the Sandbox for Imaginarium are we have one of our full armor sets will be dropping, and all of these are related to the Doodle Dog, which is my classic yellow Doodle Dog. So we have the Doodles Battle Dog, which you had there. It's a
Sorry.
wearable, and this jetpack and armor set, which I'll show.
Yeah, I'm
So
pulling them all over. Here we go.
yeah, okay.
So wherever
We
you
can
want to
start with this
start,
one.
start
Yeah,
with
we can just
this.
start with this one. So this is the full armor set for Doodles, which is the yellow classic. I call it the classic Doodle Dog. Old school and I've used forever. Uh, and each Doodle Dog has a different armor set that goes with it, and each one is themed off of a different way of being creative. So the classic Doodle Dog, this one is based off of doodling. So when you were a kid in school, I think we all know that classic old school S. I
I
think they
was
call it
gonna
the sticky S.
say, yeah.
Yeah, so the staff has that S that you would like kids would always have been drawing forever in their notebooks. And then I got like a smiley face with a pencil through its head, and then a bunch of other just little like doodles that go all through it. And he has like a little electronic box on his chest that uh, glitches in and out with different faces on it. And the shield has a smiley face, but that sticks out its tongue at the enemy, like come and get it. Yeah,
I
I,
love
th- I
oh,
think
there you can see the tongue
it's a little hard to see. I think it's a
as
little
it's
hard to see
spinning.
on this animation, but yeah,
It comes out right
yeah,
there.
yeah, it comes out right there.
Yeah, no, but I love all of the armor sets that you guys have done. They're every single one of them, like you're saying, they're all unique, and each of them has like all kinds of like extra like added little things inside it, like the tongue sticking out of the shield and the box in the middle that's rotating through different faces and stuff. Like I love all of those like added little features, and I think as far as, like, wearables go, I think that's the way to go is to add in little things like that, because then, like, that makes people wanna, like, wear it and, like, show it off, and it catches other people's attention, right? It's not just your avatar running around, it's, like, something different than your avatar,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, your
so
armor set is alive. Like I wanted, and the whole the Imaginarium is a place of imagination. So I wanted the armor sets to be like super imaginative and super like alive and full of little details. And like their team absolutely killed it. Like I would throw in some ideas like, what if we could do this? What if we could do that? And then their builders or whatever would like even throw in their own ideas, some of their own stuff, and I'd be like, "Whoa, that is so sick! I didn't even realize you could do that," or whatever. And some of the armor sets, it's been pretty sick. And then we did some live streams with Tempest, where I would draw on the stream and get input from people. I'd be like, "Hey, well, what about this?" Or whatever. I'd have the basic theme of what I wanted the armor set to be, and then let people throw out ideas and collaborate. And that was super cool and a fun process. But
yeah, no, I remember attending a couple of those streams. Is that how all of the armor sets came to be, or just some of them?
just some of them. This one actually, before the last Tempest stream, had never been shown, and this one I designed 100 like all on my own. I drew it all on my own, and then their team created it and like did the animations and stuff, obviously. But this
Nice.
was one that I drew up on my own, and there's one other one that I drew up on my own. But there's a few others that we did, three that we did on stream. So
Okay, okay, cool. Um, got some love coming in the chat about the gear
yeah,
set,
thank
so
you.
everyone's loving it. What up, Toch? Welcome in, homie. Wapex as well. And then so we got
So
this armor set, and then what else we got? We got
So we got here. What's this? Let's see. I think this is. So we have Doodle Dog rocket backpacks. So this is the that it's a wearable that will, I believe, have a speed gem and make you faster. So it's a little Doodle Dog, but a backpack, and it has a little rocket coming out of the bottom.
heck yeah.
So those are kind of fun. Those are real fun. And then we have a pants wearable that is a battle Doodle Dog. So it's a doodle dog where your legs are the back legs of the doodle dog, but this isn't the final version. They actually showed the final version on the last stream. They had edited it a little bit, but I didn't have that one. But this is close enough. They
Sure.
just extended the back on the other one. But yeah, you run around and it looks like we put little legs on each side, so it looks like you're sitting on the doodle dog, and then
Yeah.
it's you're riding on a doodle dog. It's pretty cool.
I love that. It's like
It has little
those
spikes sticking out.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like those inflatable ever seen those like inflatable costumes that you can look like you're a dinosaur or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. So this
That's
is a
awesome.
fun one too.
So
Yeah.
this one is gonna be pants is the
It's a
like
pants. Yeah, pants clippable.
okay,
Yeah.
nice. Do you know what the
Yes. I'm not
gems or
sure.
whatever?
This one might. I'm not. I think maybe this one was the speed gem. I can't remember. So I'm not so sure.
Okay,
But yeah,
sure.
Uh,
What
yeah,
what's the timeline on these? Are these going to the marketplace that people will be able to pick them up, or how's that working?
these
And
will
also like
be yeah.
the other armor sets, are those available? I don't think they
So
are, but
we're launching one at a time. No, we're not allowed putting out everything at once. So these three things that are that armor set that we showed, and then these two things will be our first drops, and then
okay.
over time we will release the other ones. So
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So do you have a date on when that
I
is happening?
don't have a date yet, but they are coming. So
Okay, okay.
I'm not sure about the date yet.
Soonish.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
soonish. I think we're waiting a little bit till the game. Maybe once the whole game is out, people
Okay,
have been able
sure.
to play the whole game, and then we'll drop. I think so. Maybe when chapter 5, probably around when chapter 5 drops, that's when we'll be doing that. So yeah,
Sure. Yeah. No, I
yeah.
think that's not a bad timeline. Cool. So there's
So
so
what
for
did you? What's that?
well, I was just to say for just to recap that real quick for people that um breezed over what we just said. The three, well actually no. So this is gonna be one, two. How many assets is
That's
the gear set?
pants. Oh, yeah, it's all the different gears. So yeah,
Lots of
shield,
different, yeah. So
lots of different
there'll be
things.
an entire
Helmet,
gear set available. Yeah,
yeah,
helmet, chest, arms,
chest, arms, legs,
legs,
shield, weapon.
shield, and sword. So six. So there'll
Yeah.
be six assets in this gear set available, as well as the Doodle rocket and the Doodle. What are you
Battle
calling
Doodle
this?
Dog. It's a
The
battle. We
battle.
call this a battle. We call it a battle Doodle Dog because later in the game you will see a version of this in the game. That's not one you wear. There's a battle Doodle Dog later on in the game. I don't
Oh, okay,
won't say
gotcha.
like, but yeah. So this is based on that. Yeah. So
Nice, nice, cool.
yeah.
So there'll be the well, six, seven, eight, technically eight pieces available, but three, a gear set, and then two other things: the rocket and the battle doodle dog, available on the Sandbox marketplace for you to
Oh,
pick up
and there's
soon.
one other one. Actually, I forgot. There's one other one as well that I didn't. We don't have here, but it's a helmet, which I'll wait to. It's a head equipable, but
Okay,
I'll wait till later to show that. But yeah, so we'll have
nice,
one more. But yeah.
sweet, sweet. Um,
So
what time is
you
it?
played through chapter 2? Because I
Yeah,
already. So how did you? Do you like it?
I enjoyed
How
it.
did you
I
like it?
really did. I thought it was fun. I'm excited to check out the Magic Forest.
That's my
Um
favorite area, so I'm excited for that one too. It's one of my favorite. I don't know that one, and then there's another one that's coming up that I really like too. But the Magic Force one is really it's
yeah,
pretty awesome. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I uh I don't know. Oh, one thing I wanted to just because while I was playing it, I really enjoyed seeing a feature like this actually be used, and that is that you can, for those of you that aren't aware, you can now develop games that you can use the numbers on your keyboard. So 0 through 9, or one through 9, and 0, however you say that, on the keyboard. And for your game, you can heal yourself with an item that you pick up by hitting 1 on the keyboard. And I just like I geeked out about that. I was like, finally, like this is the first game that I played that actually utilizes it, and I just think it's cool to like have like usable consumable inventory inside of games now. So cool to see that is incorporated into Imaginarium. I don't know if this was a glitch or what was happening, or maybe this is intentional, and then you can just tell how good you actually did at the game. But you can actually heal yourself infinitely. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but um
Infinitely.
yeah, so
Oh,
it puts you into a deficit. So it so I could show you a recording. I recorded it, but it starts showing negative carrots, because carrots are what was
okay.
healing you, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The carrots,
yeah.
magic carrots. Yeah.
So like when you use carrots that you don't have, it goes negative, and but it still
Okay.
heals you. And then whenever you pick up a carrot, then that negative decreases or increases, however you want to say it. So you can like still tell like that I cheated a bunch. And I was
Yeah,
like -4. I was at like -40 by the time because I kept falling in the water and getting needing to heal up. But like so you can like tell on screen if somebody did that, but I don't know if that's intentional or not. But now you guys
yeah.
know.
So
Um,
I know when we launched chapter 2, they had just done another update. Literally that same morning, or that
mm,
night, they had done an update, and it threw off a bunch of stuff. And I know he was frantically going back and trying to fix everything. So maybe that is something to do with that. It probably is something to
it
do with that.
probably is. There's probably like
Yeah,
some a rule or something that you could like say that it can't do that, and that got turned off or something. Who knows? I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
I'm not great at big brain game dev stuff, but I mean it made it enjoyable for me because then I could keep playing instead of having to restart every time I fell in the water. Um,
yeah. Oh, trying to get across the desert. You mean? Was
yeah,
that it?
like
Yeah,
jumping across the
yeah,
slugs or
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So that's where I kept healing because I would get I kept like getting across, but then I would have like barely any health left, and I was like, and then I ran out of carrots, but then I used it one extra time and it went to -1, and I was like, interesting. And then I hit it a couple more
Okay.
times and it kept healing me. And I was like, it's like okay,
Okay.
I
All
guess
right.
I can just play forever. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but
That's good to know.
I love chapter 2. I just I really like the way that you guys are doing things with the chapters, especially since you can't save. But even if you could save, I feel like that having the chapters is still a cool feature,
Yeah.
and it's fun
Yeah, chapter
to be
2.
able.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying it's just fun to be able to play through the whole storyline, but also go back and catch up if you didn't play through the whole storyline.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that we got to add that in or whatever. That was smart. That was cool. I think, well, obviously, the Tempest team's idea. Such a good idea. It's a great, feature, so yeah,
Definitely.
and it's cool. I was excited for chapter 2 to release because chapter 1 was I like chapter 1 obviously, but it's more of a kind of an intro to the game and how things work, and like now you finally get to battle things. And chapter 2 is full of all these so many characters that I had designed or whatever. And they get to and those were it's fun to get to see those in the game and stuff. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was a fun one.
Hell yeah, and I'm sure that's just gonna keeping on as we continue into the chapters. We're gonna meet more and more characters and have more and more adventures and battles and all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah,
I can't wait to see where the story goes, and hopefully everyone else is excited about it as I am. If you haven't already, make sure you go check out Imaginarium inside of the Sandbox. All you got to do is go to the sandbox.game. I showed it earlier, but we'll show it one last time. Go to sandbox.game. We'll get a fresh screen. Go to sandbox.game, go to the map, then go to the search bar, type in Imaginarium, Imaginarium, hit enter. That searches it. Click on it, then click play, and then you'll load in and you'll be able to play. You can either start a new game by going to that phone. You'll figure it out once you get in there, or you can go to the dumpster to the loading screen and pick your chapter 1 or 2 if you're catching up. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to get that out one last time, just so that people know how they can
yeah,
play,
cool.
because I definitely think they should be. And is there anything else that you want to end the show on? Let people know about what's coming up. We kind of covered a bunch of stuff over this last hour, or if you don't have anything
Yeah,
else, just wrap it
I
up
could
and
just
say thanks.
basically yeah, I mean, we got chapter 1 now. Midweek, I think we're going to be announcing another challenge, which will be come with a giveaway. So keep your eye out for that. If you're not follow Play Imaginarium on Twitter, and you'll be able to and Tempest Studios as well. But we'll be announcing the upcoming challenge for the game, and then next week we should be launching chapter 3, hopefully, if all goes well. So yeah,
Heck, heck yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, make sure you guys go follow Play Imaginarium on Twitter. Tempest Studios on Twitter as well while you're at it. And also while you're at it, you might as well follow the man himself, Frenemy Life over on Twitter. Frenemy with an F.
Yeah.
Frenemy.
FRENEMY.
And yeah, I think that's all we need to cover for now. I am going to, so if you caught the last Metaverse Spotlight, we're doing this again, and we're going to keep on doing this. So until it doesn't make sense to do it, or it does make sense to do it, we're going to figure it out, see if you guys like this. But we're going to do a post-pod chat over on Twitter, on X, just a Twitter space. So I think I actually can get the link for you guys and drop it in the chat if you're tuning in live, so that you have that and can join us over there. And that's your chance to ask any questions you have of Frenemy about Imaginarium or anything else that you want to chat about. Or just join us on stage and chat about whatever. It doesn't matter, but it'll just be kind of a post-pod hangout session with me and Frenemy for a little bit. So if you guys want to meet us over on X, please do that. I'm gonna try and find the link for you guys. I think it's in here. Yeah, I'll send that link to the chat here for you guys if you want it. And that's where we're headed next. Thank you so much, Frenemy, for coming on and hanging out and talking to us about all things Imaginarium and what's going on inside the Sandbox with you. And yeah, we'll head over to our post pod open mic is what I called it on Twitter, and we'll hang out there for a little bit. So hopefully you guys join us over there after this show wraps up, and I'll give you the stage one last time. You can say whatever you want real quick, and then we will wrap it up.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. Thanks for tuning in, everybody who's tuned in. And yeah, check out midweek. We're going to be posting about a challenge for Imaginarium with a giveaway. So check that out. And then next week, hopefully chapter 3. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you over on X, Twitter, for that space. And if we don't see you there, we'll see you somewhere else in the metaverse soon. Take it easy, y'all. Bye.